Hi everyone, it's Karen. Welcome to another video with me where I'm going to show you how I created this spring bloom themed card with Lavinia stamps. I'm using fairy pods, 2 stamps from the Fairy Foragers set, 2 stencils, glory and featherleaf, and an assortment of foliage stamps. I'm using VersaFine Clairs. I'm using Cheerful for the yellow little daisies at the bottom. I'm using Verdant and Green Oasis for the green foliage, Nocturne for the black stamping, and then I've used Mowed Lawn for the stenciling and the new pink colour in oxides. So we'll get started. I'm using an A5 card that I've folded in half. It's multifarious cardstock from Lavinia, and I'm putting a piece of copy paper in the middle to protect the inside of the card. The first thing that I'm going to do is ink up my Fairy Pods stamp using Nocturne. Light tapping to make sure that we capture all that beautiful detail in these really delicate stamps. As you can see, when I'm stamping, I always use an acrylic block that's appropriate to the size of my stamp. Well, as close as I can get it. And this is a great sized acrylic block for those lovely foliage stamps. And then I'm going to use, you get 2 stamps in this set. So I'm going to use the second one and stamp it just a little lower. Then I'm going to take one of the Fairy Foragers, ink her up. They're so delicate and beautiful, these little stamps. And I'm going to set her just there. Not quite at the edge of the card, just give her a bit of space underneath. And take the second fairy and pop her just peering at this stamp. Then we're going to go and create some of the foliage at the bottom. For this I'm using forest spruce. You'll have seen me use this before because I think it gives you a gorgeous grassy effect. I'm going to start with the lighter colour, Verdant. And just set it all the way along the bottom. Different height. Then I'm going to take the Green Oasis just to create some interest. I'm taking one of the stamps from the Twisted Vine set. Any of the foliage stamps, there's such a lot to choose from. You're really spoilt for choice. So I'm just going to create a couple of pieces there. Now I'm going to go back in with my forest spruce. Yes, and my Verdant. Each time you do this, it will be different. You can see what I've done last time. And this one will be slightly different. Making sure that you're going to get this grass, look-alike grass, at different heights. That's enough for now. Then I'm going to take my mini flower set. This is from the pound range. Mini flower set. Cheerful And I'm going to pop some of these in the background. Again, different heights there. And what that's going to happen is that when we put the stencil down, these little daisies are just going to peek out from behind the stencil. Okay, so I'm going to take Glory and I'm going to pop it down. You can see that I've been using pink paint on this. And you will see in a little while what that was. It's a very fun project that I have prepared for you. We're going to take now Mowed Lawn, and I'm just going to pop some of that through the stencil. You can see I'm doing it very randomly. I'm still going to hold it in place. So there we go. You can see that it's varying heights, just like ferns would in the breeze. They would dance. That's my Mowed Lawn. Then I'm going to take the feather leaf stencil and I'm going to decorate the top. Again, I'm going to pop it down, taking my blending sponge and my new gorgeous ink pad, and I'm going to do the same. Colour it through my stencil, making sure that I fade some of it out to the centre. Beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm going to colour my pods, and to do that I'm just going to smush a tiny bit of my ink onto my mat, take my paintbrush with a bit of water, and I'm just going to paint the fairy pods. You can use elements to do this painting, distress inks, or the oxides here. And in fact, I am going to use the oxide because it does give me a more vibrant colour. I love using the oxides for stenciling, for blending, for colouring, but when I am painting like this, I do prefer the inks because, as I've said before, they give you a more vibrant finish because they are ink, whereas the oxides are made of paint and ink, so they give you a chalkier finish. And when you're blending, that's great because they blend easier than the inks. But when we're painting, especially as we want these pods, these fairy pods, to stand out, I'm going to use the ink. So you can see how I'm painting. I am not painting the whole thing. I'm just painting different heights because the light will catch these fairy pods in different ways. And then I'm going to paint each of these little fronds individually. This is so much fun because Tracy's done all the hard work for us and given us something to colour in beautifully. And don't forget this part of the flower. And there we have our gorgeous fairy card, fairy blooms. I'm going to round the edges here, just gives it a bit more interest. And actually, as I was looking at it, I thought, I've got 2 there. I like odd numbers because then your eye goes, which one shall I look at if you've only got 2? So here I'm going to create a 3rd one. That's better. That's much more balanced. Well, it is for me anyway. Now, if you wanted, you could put some glitter, stickles, whatever you like on your fairy blooms. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'd love to see what you make. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.